Hello and welcome to This Week on Planet Earth. I'm your co-host Jacob.
And I'm your co-host Matty, where each week you break down the latest space exploration, science and technology news.
So without further ado, let's get into this week's stories. So like our last episode of Twope News, I started it off with some pretty horrendous air pollution news, and I'm kind of doing the same again this week. So there's a new article in The Guardian, and its title is Air Pollution Likely Causes of Up to 6 Million Premature Births, which a study found. And it says global analysis of indoor and outdoor pollution also finds links to low birth weight. And it basically goes on to say that air pollution is likely to have been responsible for up to 6 million premature births and 3 million underweight babies worldwide every year, research shows. The analysis, which combines the result of multiple scientific studies, is the first to calculate the total global burden of outdoor and indoor air pollution combined.
Yeah.
Which isn't great.
No. Yeah, reading it's a lot to do with the sort of like particulate matter that is in sort of fossil fuels, really. So cars idling and obviously power generation and stuff releases obviously greenhouse gases, but also very small particles, and it's these sort of particulate says here about 2.5 microns that cause a lot of sort of damage to the bloodstream and the lungs, which obviously can have an impact on babies as well. So yeah, we've known about this for a while, and we sort of starting to do things about it, and hopefully as we sort of move to electric vehicles and clean energy, it'll sort of pick up pace. But yeah, it's pretty horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not great.
Mm-hmm. So my my first bit of news is a bit lighter. So a while back we discussed the Amazon drone thing that was like a camera that flew around your house.
Yep.
Well, they're at it again, and they've got a new one called Amazon Astro. This one's on wheels.
Oh god.
So it looks a bit like it's sort of like shoebox size and has a big wheel on it, and then a massive sort of iPad mounted on the front with
Right.
these sort of digital eyes. And again, I don't really see what it does other than just videoing you in your home. I imagine it's going to have obviously the sort of Amazon Alexa stuff built into it, so you'll be able to use it like that. And it doesn't really give any more information about what it's going to do other than act, they say, sort of similar to like a Ring doorbell. So it's going to have cameras on it and be able to talk to you and stuff. But yeah, I don't really see what it does other than video you as it just creeps around your house.
I guess it's good if you like have children and you're cooking or something and you want to keep an eye on them in the other room or something like that, or maybe for like security reasons. But yeah, it is a bit weird otherwise. It's just
and
filming
also
you.
the price tag of $999, I think.
Oh my god.
You could put a normal Echo in every room for that sort of price 5 times over. So yeah, I think it might be a bit of a hard sell to people.
Yeah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my next bit of news is a little bit lighter too, and it's about strange lights over the UK and Scotland, and basically an Atlas V rocket, which launched on Monday at around 8 p.m. BST, which was holding a NASA Landsat 9 satellite. 2 hours after it had performed its reversing maneuvers, it started creating like glowing clouds of vapor in the sky as it was coming over the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because loads of people on social media and loads of people in the area around there in the UK were phoning up authorities and saying that they saw a UFO, which I thought was quite funny. Because, you know me, Matty, I like to keep up with all the UFO stuff. And when I saw it trending when I woke up, I was like, what's going on here? And then I had a look and found out that it was an Atlas V rocket. So I thought that was pretty cool. If you look at the photos, if anybody's interested and they want to check it out, it just looks really cool. It's kind of very similar to like what the SpaceX photos look like when they send their stuff up and it comes back down. But yeah, it looks cool. It sucks that I didn't see it. I didn't really know it was happening, and I can't really remember in my area if the weather was okay on Monday night. But it would have been cool to see. I'm excited to see something like that in the future with a rocket launch.
Yeah, I miss this one as well, so I have to keep an eye out for the next launch. But
yeah.
Yeah, so my next bit of news is also space related. So back again in China. I always seem to talk about China space news, but this time they are proposing a study to try and build a 1 kilometer long space station, um, which will be about 10 times the size of the International Space Station. It's going to be a 5-year study that they're going to conduct. I think this is sort of like preliminary work, so they're not actually going to be building anything at this point. But um, yeah, this is part of what they're calling Roadmap 50. So looking at how China plans to sort of lead the way in space exploration and space sciences. So this is their sort of, I guess, landmark project. And they're offering £1.7 million for this 5-year feasibility study. So it's going to be looking at things like actually designs of the spacecraft itself, novel materials, construction techniques for space, the impact on humans, those sorts of things. And I guess at the end of it, we will hopefully have a plan to build a kilometer long space ship.
Yeah, that's awesome.
hmm Yes, this was a piece in Science Focus, so BBC Magazine. If anyone's interested in it, I'd see they've gone with a very artistic impression of the spacecraft at the top of the article. But yeah, it's an interesting read.
No, that is cool. So for our final piece this week, me and Matty thought that we would do kind of like a joint one, and we talk a little bit about Inspiration 4 because we didn't do a Twope News episode when we should have 2 weeks ago because it was our 1 year special. So there was loads of stuff going on with the podcast. So we kind of missed out on reporting on Inspiration 4. So we thought we'd chat a little bit about it now. But it's fun to watch. I always really enjoy watching the SpaceX streams. They're always really fun. Those and the NASA ones are just always great. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, they are good. But yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, this Inspiration 4 mission was special because all 4 people on board were just private citizens. So it wasn't sort of like a mix of trained astronauts and civilians. It was 4 civilians, obviously on board a private rocket run by a private company. So this is like, I guess, stage 1 of commercialization of space complete.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, and it was for a cool like message as well, wasn't it? Because it was raising money for St. Jude's Hospital, and I think they hit 250 million as we're recording this. So it might be more by the time this comes out on Friday, but yeah, it's really cool, and like they managed to do like a low Earth orbit, didn't they, around the planet? And I think the mission duration was 2 days, 23 hours, and around 3 to 5 minutes. So they had splashdown. But it's just awesome. It's like we always say with all of these kind of things, I wish it was me.
Yeah, absolutely. This is when we were talking about the Blue Origin one, I was a bit not sure about it, but this one just looked awesome. Actually, properly going into space and orbiting would be just amazing. So,
and they had the little cupola, didn't they, on the top bit with the glass dome thing that you could like sit and have a look in, which I can imagine is absolutely outstanding. I want to experience the observer effect. That is something that is on my bucket list, whether or not I ever achieve that. But yeah, so for me, it was just awesome really watching this. And I love watching SpaceX launch their rockets because it's always fun to watch. It's like it's half the mission watching it go off and you get to like watch it come back down. But it's interesting PR as well because like we've been covering the Blue Origin ones, the Virgin Galactic ones, and the SpaceX ones. And it's interesting how still SpaceX haven't opted to send their CEO into orbit. They're still sending people for, you could argue, good reasons. So, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that I suspect sort of after what happened with Virgin and Blue Origin, they're probably a bit hesitant as well because there was quite a lot of negative press about sending Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos to space. Sort of, is it worthwhile? Whereas this sort of hasn't made the main headline news, has it? Obviously, a lot of people are interested in it. It's cool, but it's not sort of been front page BBC website sort of thing. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you. Well, yeah, that pretty much wraps up this week's stories for this week on Planet Earth, or Twope News as we sometimes call it over on the podcast. So, yeah, if you enjoyed this episode and you thought that the stories were cool, make sure to like it and let us know down in the comment section below if we have missed any cool things this week or anything that we should include in the next episode of Twope News. And by the time this comes out, our website for The Infinite Void should be out, so go and check it out. We'll leave a link in the description below. There's a little section on there for Twope News, so you can go and check that out and keep up to date with all the episodes and get a little bit more information. And we also have an episode out on the podcast, same day that this has come out, which is part 9 of our series Humanity of the Future, and it's all about cryptocurrencies and NFTs. So yeah, we will. Oh, and you can follow us on social media at Twope News, which is only on Instagram. But yeah, we will catch you next episode.